Welcome back. He's just ended his 13-year tenure as the host of The Rude Awakening. His wacky sense of humor and his controversial tendencies make him one of the most memorable radio personalities of the last decade. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jeremy Mansfield. Jeremy.
Nobody's hit on my mother while I've been walking down the street with her. I think Brad Pitt is quite hot.
Good, yeah. He is.
The person I've had the most fun with, a star, is Morgan Freeman.
Yeah? He's a nice guy.
Lovely guy.
Oh, because you went on the bike thing with him. I called him my boyfriend.
And what was the other one?
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
That's no fair. I didn't get that.
Do you want to tell us?
No.
Okay, I thought
how old were you then?
No. Pause.
I think I was 19.
19?
Yeah, I was a good boy.
Yeah?
So there we go, interview over.
Fantastic.
She's looking gorgeous,
Lovely.
huh?
Oh.
How gorgeous is she looking? Man, that cleavage is just to die for.
It's, yes, it's there, basically. If you got it, flaunt it.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you know, I mean, I also do a morning gig now, 6 to 9.
Worthy.
There's never, I mean, I don't like getting up at all. How did you do it for 13 years?
I don't know. In retrospect, I actually don't know.
It's painful.
You don't have a life.
None.
People don't realise that you lead the life of a senior citizen. You're in bed by 9 o'clock at night.
Literally, have to.
You're up early in the morning. Your days are still long.
Very long.
Your relationship takes strain because you can't go out during the night. The only times you can go out are on a Friday and a Saturday night, and then you feel that you have to go out on those nights.
Right.
No, I'm telling you, it's the best decision I have ever made in my life.
Right. What time would you get up when you were still broadcasting?
Anything, depending on how much work had to be done, anything from 3:15 to 4:30.
And it's painful, hey?
Painful.
Every single morning is painful. I love my job, but don't get me wrong, there is nothing cute about getting up that early in the morning. And because you also have to be awake. And not only that, it's your job to wake up your listeners, essentially.
You've got to wake up, get out of bed, then you've got to wake your brain up, because at 6 o'clock, your brain's got to be functioning at 100%, 110%.
Right.
Whereas other people will get into work at 9 o'clock. By 10:30, they'll be functioning at 110%. You don't have that. You don't have that option. You've got to be wide awake.
Obviously, you took it, the Rude Awakening, to a whole nother... It became a cult following. When you first started, what did you set out to do? And have you always been rude, or was that just part of the ruse?
No, okay. I did the Rude Awakening for 13 years.
Yeah.
But I've been in the industry for 25 years. Sure. I started off in news at Capital Radio, then I joined SuperSport, and then I joined 702.
Right.
And when Prime Media bought Highveld from the SABC, they asked me to do the morning show.
Okay.
At that stage, Highveld was a very different animal to what it is now. It was wallpaper.
Okay.
It was background music.
Right.
And we had to now push it in people's faces.
Right.
To get attention.
Right.
So we had to blow off a certain amount of the audience who were very conservative, and advertisers weren't really interested in. So we had to go in hard. And it was very difficult, because that was my mandate. That was what management expected of me. But for about 6 months, everything that was happening in the media around me was slating me. But
I know, but I
knew what my job was.
So they would say, like, you're rude, obnoxious.
Get him off the air, all the rest of it. But I had my job to do, and I stuck to my guns, and I did my job, and built what when I left was the most commercially successful radio show in the country.
Yeah, essentially.
On the continent.
So what do you do now that you don't have to get up? Actually, the question I want to know is, your body clock? Obviously, you know, like I know on Saturdays and Sundays, I still get up exactly the same time that I do, but then I can go back to bed. Is your body clock still playing games with you?
My body clock accepted it from day one. And I'm very glad.
And it's just like, woohoo!
Yeah, no, I don't make appointments before 9.
Right.
And I prefer not to make any after 12.
I'm with you. Yeah. That must be very nice.
It is.
You did, okay, when you were doing the Rude Awakening and you guys were pushing the envelope so much, did you ever sometimes feel like maybe we'd crossed the line here? Ever?
You know what? I don't think so, because one of the things that I understand when you work with comedy and radio is who to direct it at. And what you usually do is you direct it at people who you know can take it.
Right.
You don't go for people who can't take it.
But some people, I don't know how... Some people are just humorless and will never really accept.
They'll never get there.
They'll never get there, you know?
No.
So, okay, so you went for people who you knew had enough sense to know that you're talking gag and that is okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. And listeners, were the listeners that you got particularly close to over the 13 years, or is it sort of like, you're just one in a million?
No, you know what? You get to know people because they take ownership of you.
Right.
When you are in there, think about it. The show that you do, a morning show, is the worst time for anyone to be listening to the radio. They don't want to be there. They don't want to be up. They don't want to be in the car. They don't want to be in the shit traffic. They don't want all these things happening around them. And you've got to then intrude into their lives and make them want to start their day. It's a very bad time to do a radio show.
Sure. But it's the most coveted.
It is. But the thing is that because of that, you become a friend to them.
Right.
And
of course, yes.
When they meet you for the first time, it's as though they've known you for years. They're, hey, how you doing, buddy? And you got to go, fine. And you're right. Are you all right? Are you sure?